Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys I'm going to be doing a deck profile, I guess you could say, or a deck update of my scrap-based deck. I've played this deck for a couple of years, and I was really playing it a lot the past year and a half after Needle Fiber came out. However, you know, with the hit to O-Line a couple ban lists ago and certain cards happening on the ban list, the deck is not as viable or as competitive, but it's still a really fun deck and is a really good deck overall, I feel like. Hopefully we get some new support in the future. A couple years ago we got Scrap Factory, and I'm hoping in the future we do get some more love. This deck was competitive for a short time in Yu-Gi-Oh's history. Scrap Dragon saw a lot of competitive play due to being a generic level 8. And so I've always loved this deck. I picked it up a long time ago when the deck came out in the 5Ds era, and I've thoroughly enjoyed playing it throughout the years. So, without further ado, guys, let us get into the deck profile. So, Scrap Orthros is pretty good overall, I would say. It's a special summon that you can easily get out by having another scrap monster on the field. You destroy it, and if this card's destroyed, you can add another scrap monster from your graveyard to your hand. So overall, a really good card. Some people run it as a 2-of, I see, but me personally, I like it as a 3-of in the deck. It's pretty staple in my opinion. So 3 Scrap Orthros. Next up, we run 3 Scrap Chimera. Scrap Chimera is kind of like, I want to say, in a way, kind of like that old school card, Colt Soldier Wolfbark. This card is going to help facilitate a lot of your synchro plays, your generic things for going into Scrap Dragon. You know, using Scrap Beast, you can easily go into Scrap Dragon. You know, using Scrap Golem, you can go for some other stuff as well. So, a multitude of synchro plays are going to come from using Scrap Chimera. Which is really nice overall. There are certain things where it can help you go into Beast Barkion, which is really nice. So overall, really good card and a staple 3-of in my opinion. Some people like it as a 2-of, but now that it's not O-Lion and doing things as much with Needle Fiber stuff, I find that 3-of is okay again in the deck. Next up, we run 3 Scrap Recycler. Thank you, Konami, for reprinting this card. I had my commons, but I'm happy that we got a super last year. But this card was going up in price, and I had buddies wanting to buy it off me because I had it. They knew I had it in the deck for Orchest, but I kept it. But yeah, this card is really good. This card I think was the original Scrap Monster, quote unquote, because this came out like in the Ancient Gear Structure deck, if I remember correctly, long before the 5Ds era. And this deck actually being a thing. So I think this is the OG Scrap card, but it's really good because it can help set up things for graveyard and send things to graveyard. But yeah, a staple 3-of in my opinion in this deck. Really good card for help setting up scraps in grave. Next up, we run double Scrap Shark. This is one that I've been playing around with. Initially, I used to run it as a 1-of. Now I'm trying it out as a 2-of. And I am trying out other cards as well. But at the end of the day, I decided to run Scrap Shark as a 2-of. It's a really good card because it can set up things from graveyard from your deck, which is nice. So in that respect, I do like it as a 2-of, but that's up to you to try if you want to run it. Double Scrap Beast and double Scrap, triple Scrap Goblin. Beast is really good for help going for example, your basic Scrap Dragon plays. So if you're going for your level, we used to run things like Stardust and everything like that nature, and if you want to run more level 8, you could, but mainly this is going to help you go for your Scrap Dragon. That's what that's here for. But it can also be good for helping going up and synchro climbing up into other things. Scrap Golem is really useful because this will help you go into a lot of your other Atomic Scrap Dragon type of plays and things of this nature because of its level. But it also helps you in generically just go for Scrap Wyvern too. And all else fails, you can just set the Scrap Golem and maybe it'll live perhaps. We don't really want to do that, but it's there just in case. So 3 Scrap Golem and 2 Scrap Beast in your deck. Next up, we also run 1 Scrap Mind Reader. This is one that I was debating about running or not, but it really was good to help go for Naturia Beast and also set up for things like Needle Fiber, to help set up for things like maybe Scrap Wyvern, which was really nice. I found that it was a decent card to run. You don't have to run it, but from playtesting and after O-line got hit, I like it more and more in the deck as just a good 1-of in the deck. But that's up to you to decide. It's a nice card to have. Next up, we run Triple Scrap Golem. I'm debating about running this as a 3-of still, but overall it's been working out pretty well. I'm really liking Scrap Golem as a 3-of. I like that they bumped it up as a super rare not too long ago. But overall, it's been working good. It's kind of the heart and soul of the deck, I would say. And it's been working out okay. It's really good for help facilitating a lot of plays. And it's a big body, too. Like 23 attack. It's not amazing, but it can put in work. But I do like it as a 3-of in the deck. And it can also, along with the tuners, it can help go for big synchro plays, too. So that's all for your scrap monsters, guys. In a nutshell, they're pretty straightforward. You have your basic scraps and you have your stuff like from the 5Ds era that can help go for synchro plays. Because this is a synchro-oriented deck, so do keep that in mind, guys. But it's pretty generic and straightforward in tuners and what they can do. But on to your other stuff, we run 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs. This deck is, I would say, for the most part, a going second deck. A lot, because you're going to be popping things off on your opponent's turn. So I find that this deck, for the most part, is a going second deck, and you're going to see me running going second cards like Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs for that reason. So 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs has been working out overall in the deck, and I thoroughly like it in the deck as well. So good hand trap. You can run whatever hand traps you like, though. Also, we run 3 Scrap Storm. This card's amazing. Select 1 face-up scrap monster and do some crazy things. If you guys don't know what Scrap Storm does, I'll read it to you quickly. Select 1 face-up scrap monster you control. Send 1 scrap monster from your deck to the graveyard. Then draw 1 card. Then destroy the selected monster. Card's amazing. Gives you draw power and search power. It's just... When this card came out, I looked at it, I remember, and I asked a buddy, I said, that card's broken. He's like, yeah, it's kind of broken. But overall, it's a staple 3-of. In addition to that, I was debating around some other scrap cards in the deck if I should run them or not. And at the end of the day, I decided to run 1 Scrap Yard. Now, Scrap Yard is not amazing in the deck. It's something that you can or cannot run. And it's up to you to decide if you do want to truly run Scrap Yard. As a Scrap Yard as a 2-of. I've tried that out. But at the end of the day, I decided to cut it for other cards to run to the deck, which have worked out okay. But Scrap Storm is a staple 3-of in my opinion, and it's been working out fairly well for me overall. I haven't really looked back on running anything else. But 3 Scrap Yard doubles, that's what we run for those monsters. For some other spells that we run the amazing Scrap Factory, which is a great staple 3-of, and 1 Terraforming. It's a staple card to run in this deck. Overall, I really like it as a 3-of. You need to get to Scrap Factory as soon as possible. It's very essential that you get to it. Otherwise, you may have a bad time in your matchup. I have had instances where I was thinking about running some other cards to help search it out. But at the end of the day, I decided to just run it as a 3-of along with the Terraforming. And for the most part, it's been working out pretty well overall, I would say. But that's just from my own experience there. So that's for your field spell. Just for some generic spells, I decided to run 2 Dark Ruler No More. Now, you don't have to run Dark Ruler No More. You could run other cards like Neberu and things of that nature. And I wasn't really into running 3 Dark Ruler No More. It sometimes got a little bricky with this deck, but because it can go first and second, but it likes to go second. So that's where I'm running Dark Ruler No More. It's just a good card as a 2-of. You can replace it with Neberu if you really want to make this deck go straight going second. And like I said, you could also replace it with a 3rd Dark Ruler, add a 3rd Dark Ruler No More into the deck if you want to. But that's up to you. I like 2-of in the deck. It's been working pretty good. 1 Foolish Burial to set up things in grave, 1 Call by the Grave for hand traps, 1 Upstart Goblin, and 1 Monster Reborn. Foolish Burial, this deck likes having things in grave, so this is good. 1 Call by the Grave, this helps protect you from hand traps. This makes it a 39 card deck, get a little bit extra draw power. And Monster Reborn, because we're going to be abusing the graveyard so much, we need Monster Reborn. It's really good to run. So that's what I've been running there, and it's been working out fairly well overall, I would say. So that's the ratio for that. Onto your traps, we run also, in addition to this, guys, we run 3 infinite impermanents. I've said this once, I'll say it again, it is kind of a going second deck, but infinite impermanence also will give you some negation, which the deck is really needing. And so overall it's going to help you out, because if you decide to go second with this deck, it'll be great. And number 2, this will also just generically give you some negation, which this deck needs, along with Ash Blossom, just for modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Sake. So that's why I like infinite impermanence in the deck overall. It's been doing pretty good. On to your other cards in the deck, guys. We also run your extra deck. So extra deck wise, guys, it's very interesting. It's very generic. We run 2 Scrap Dragon. If you want to run some other level 8s, you could. I've seen people still run Stardust. I've seen people run a 3rd Scrap Dragon. I've seen a lot of different things here. You could run Omega if you want to, if you really feel cheeky about it. There's other things you can run, but me, I'm just running 2 Scrap Dragon. I'm also running double Scrap Twin Dragon, which is a great card to run. You don't have to run it as a 3-of, but it's been going pretty good. And like I said, if you want to run another level 8, you could run it, but I've been trying out Atomic Scrap Dragon, which is kind of like a Trishula in its own right, and it's been pretty good. So you're running a double Twin Scrap Dragon, which have been going good, and 1 Atomic Dragon. And overall, I've been liking this ratio, and it's been working out pretty good for me overall. For some other generic cards, synchro-wise, 1 Naturia Beast, you can easily make it, and it's really good. Along it, especially if you have like an Ash Blossom and an Infinite Impermanence, and it's a spell-based deck, Sayonara. Also, 1 Borreload Savage Dragon, which has been working pretty good in the deck, and 1 Trishula, which you can easily make in this deck still. So these are your synchros. You can run more. For your links, we're running 2 Scrap Wyvern. I don't feel like you need more than 2. It's been working out pretty good. 1 Needle Fiber, it's still good in the deck. 1 Nightmare Phoenix. 1 Nightmare Cerberus. 1 Nightmare Unicorn. 1 Bowl of Swords. So Needle Fiber, like I said, it's a synchro-based deck. It's fairly easy to make. Nightmare Cerberus and Phoenix are good for taking away problems on the board, as well as Unicorn. And for OTK power, because this deck, while it can't OTK, really, it's going to pop a lot of things and destroy a lot of things, leaving the board fairly clear. So maybe you can go for a Bull Lord, Savage Dragon, and OTK. And it just really helps the deck get around problems. So that is your extra deck in a nutshell, guys. Overall, the deck is really, really fun to play. It's a fun deck, guys. It's not super competitive. Like I said, I built this deck with trying to go second in mind. You may want to run, Dark Ruler No More as, you may want to run some other cards at different ratios, like we were talking about. Maybe you want to run things a little bit differently. It's up to you guys how you want to run it. But overall, it's been working out pretty good, and I thoroughly enjoy the deck. And hopefully we get support in the near future to make this deck even a little bit more viable. But like I said, there's different things you could run. There's different options. I built this deck to go second. You can't, and I feel like it's made to go second. But you can play around with different ratios and try new tech options out. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed it. Till next time, take care. Have fun dueling. Good luck dueling. And since this deck is from the 5Ds era, remember, guys, to rev it up. And I'll see you guys next time. Good luck dueling to all of you.